All right, Grant, kick this one off. And to give it some context, the way we've constructed this list is actually the ones that have been the biggest impacts on ourselves, where we've had the most, I suppose we'll call personal growth here. So lay it down, brother.
Awesome. So one of the most important ones, especially business owner lens, as well as like an investor lens, is the power of delegation. Like if you can't actually get other people to do the things that they need to do in order for your business to grow or your investments to grow or anything like that, your probability of success to scale beyond yourself is fuck all to none.
I actually have solved this. You ready?
Go.
Share trading.
Yeah, but hence why I said the scalability outside of yourself. So if you're a share trader, then obviously you'd scale.
Yeah, that's because you don't need more than yourself, right? That's totally the only reason that would work. But I would say that comes with its own challenges.
Well, you have a capped potential as opposed to just putting a 0 at the end of every trade just to try and scale it up.
I love this point. I think it is such a critical one. And how many business owners out there right now do you think this is actually the one holding them back?
A lot. And it's interesting because I think as though, especially as business owners, our businesses are like our babies, like our pets. Like our business is our most beautiful thing in our life. There's no one can ever say anything bad about it, which means that we perceive ourselves as the one being able to do the greatest work, which means that everybody else will just not do it as great. However, that is more your limitation around your ability to delegate. Like if,
and also potentially they've hired poorly.
Completely, which again, I would put under the banner of delegation, because if you hire poorly, then delegation's screwed anyway. And so I layer this down as a mandatory skill no matter what, because it aligns to like leadership as well. Like if you can't get someone else to do the thing that's actually going to help you move your business forward. So if I can't get you to help me with sales, Charlie, or you to take accountability for sales and for me to follow up that you have done the thing, I'm never going to get the sales that I need in my business. Same with delivery people. If I can't get them to deliver the product or service that I've sold, then I'm never going to be able to be successful as a business owner. And then if I keep trying to put the monkeys on my back of going, no, Charlie, I'll do the bookkeeping. No, Charlie, I'll do all the QA across everything that you ever produce. I'm never going to be able to scale outside of like a one-man show.
There's a lot of layers to this, and I'd love to cover a few. One is I think delegation doesn't just apply in business. It applies in all areas of life, right? And it's like you can actually put self-imposed limits on yourself by not delegating. But like even delegating on the investing side of things to your property managers, to your buyer's agent, like there's so many worlds. On the business front though, and this is the one I will mention, I often see people struggle with delegation for this reason: poor pricing. They've never had enough margin in their business or created a business model that was profitable enough where they can actually hire the people to delegate to that could do things well. So then their whole experience with delegation is, well, they basically hired poor quality people attempting to offload things, and it just doesn't go well. And then they're like, oh, it doesn't work. See, I've got to do everything.
You're like, that's so symptomatic of the situation you've put yourself in. I find delegation is, to your point, a complete TP. Like it leans on so many other things, and so many other things lean on it in order to be successful, which is why it's a skill. Like to help articulate this, every time that I asked someone to do something and the output that I received was different from what I requested, it was a point for me to evaluate my inability to delegate. It means,
yeah, I want to jump in here because I want to. I thought I was good at this, and then I met you. So probably one of the most humbling experiences I've ever had is when you came on board to work with me on Valor Media. I thought I was good at operations. I thought I was good at delegation, and I got schooled, absolutely schooled. Now, I don't think I'm terrible at these things, but you've taken it to another level. The question I have, because I don't think anyone's going to doubt this is an amazing skill, right, and a very important one that will pay you forever, literally, like could be the difference. Where and how did you get good at this?
And funnily enough, it's something I'm continuing to improve on. I think the first thing that I acknowledged at a very young business owner age was that every problem in my business was from myself. And so any time that I delegated and didn't get what I wanted, it was not because of the individual, it was because of me. It was always because of me. And you know what? Every time I looked back at it, I could have thrown a reason as to why the employee that I was working with or the contractor I was working with, they were the problem. They were the fault.
Shh, Can't say that, Grant. It is their fault. There's a lot of business owners out there that might have to actually, it won't be their best day hearing this episode if they can't blame their staff for something.
No, and so I completely overcorrected. So I literally wore everything to myself, rightly or wrongly. So that was like the step one, was just all of my problems are a result of me and what I did. To which then I actually went on a bit of a warpath to actually understand how, like, in the world, Charlie, I asked this as a question: what organization do you think articulates the objective of something, like someone doing a task, the best? Like, if you were to think about every business, every organization in the world, who do you think it does better than anybody else?
I'd have to say McDonald's comes to mind for me.
That is fair, especially getting 16-year-olds to flip burgers. Mine was military, because you got to remember, these guys are going shortwave radio, need to articulate the bombing of a particular thing or infiltration of a particular thing in a very short, concise message.
Do you know what? High stakes as well, right?
Completely.
It's like, you screw up a McDonald's order, not the end of the world. I will say the idea of getting something repeatable all over the world done by 16-year-olds would be evidence of good delegation and system.
Completely.
Military, on the other hand, let's say you've got to break someone out of a rogue country and communicate well through that and have everyone do their task because the risk tolerance is zero. That's someone's life.
Totally.
Massive.
And I had I've been very fortunate. One of my business partners was an ex-SAS sniper. And so I talked to him about this challenge. And this is going back like 7 years ago, I reckon, when I had this conversation with him. And I said, like, how did the military do it? And he's like, there's one framework. And I'll share it very quickly here. And it's called CPORT. And I've never been able to really see anyone talking about it. And it stands for context, purpose, output, resources, and time. He's like, if you can articulate the context of why something's important, the purpose as to what it actually does, the outputs of what you're expecting. So like, are you looking for a website, a spreadsheet, or whatever? The resources, like, hey, Charlie, you've got these people to work with, or it's just yourself. And the time, which is you got 24 hours, or you got 4 hours, or you got a week. He's like, no one can misconstrue what they're trying to achieve and how they're trying to do it. And it's exactly what the military does. They're like, all of those are key elements in order for someone to understand the mission they're on, the reason why they need to do it, and how they need to do the thing. Which is why, like, we have so many examples, we have so many templates, we have hard deadlines, we've got context on everything. Like, this is important to this funnel because they need leads for this thing. That was it. It all came back to the military.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't doing that.
Then there's more layers to it. Like, it gets so deep. But
we're only talking about it really on the business front here, and the idea of getting someone to do something in business. Right. This, again, could apply to investing, as we've spoken about, your personal life, working with your partner if there's delegation of things back and forth.
Yep.
This is a super skill if you get great at this. I might even say it's the meta skill on this list.
It's a very
one of, anyway.
It's very good to start off with. And so hence why I'm like, if you can delegate well, like, and even think about your house. Like, if you got a cleaner coming over, it's like, well, why do you need the oven to be cleaned so well? Like, why does that matter to you? It's like, well, my wife cares about making the Sunday roast. Like, it's not just business. It's not just investing. It's like everything, like asking your wife or your husband to do something. Hey, fellow business owner, if this topic and value-packed short video has resonated with you at all, and you want to dive deeper into creating wealth inside and outside your business, check out the full episode by clicking the link on your screen or in the description right now.